everybody can truly become successful. It's a ludicrous belief. And?
Can you put that in Fortnite terms? What does that mean?
I'll put it in Fortnite terms. Everybody thinks that most people are going to be unsuccessful. That's why most people are unsuccessful. Mm-hmm. Why can't we walk around wishing the best of people? Looking at some, bro, I went to a hotel. I know this sounds crazy. I went to a hotel. The guy was mopping the floors. He was a janitor. I've done janitor work, so we're just talking. And he's sitting down with his phone during his break, scrolling through TikTok. And I literally go and sit down with him. We're having mate. We're sipping mate. It's an Argentine herb tea. And I ask him, hey, what are you doing in your free time? I was like, why is it that you're choosing to do this? And we start chopping it up. 10 minutes in, he tells me that he used to own a business, but that he quit because he went into debt. He couldn't make it. He lost hope. And where did he end up? A janitor. Why? Not because a janitor is a measly job, but because he didn't have the right tools, the right knowledge, the right circle, the right information, and he lost hope. You know why he lost hope? Because the environment around him told him that he was going to lose. But what if the environment around him was positive and empowered? And so you know what I said? Bro, go back and start the business again, bro. What am I going to do? Sit down and tell him how to do dropshipping? No. But I can encourage you. Hey, bro, you got this. If you were able to do it once, you can do it again.
You never scroll TikTok?
I scroll TikTok. I scroll TikTok, but I scroll it with a different intention. I actually find it as a really good tool to recruit talent.
Really?
Yes, it's a really good place to find talent that is really good, and I think that it's a good place for sourcing new hires.
Is that how you're justifying it though? Do you ever just scroll, like doom scroll?
I would say I doom scroll Instagram stories a bit, bro. It's the swipes, doom swipe, bro.
Doom swiper.
I'm a doom swiper, bro.
But it seems like you're really familiar with the TikTok algorithm, because you kind of you blew up almost out of nowhere. Like I didn't hear about you, and the next thing you know, I'm seeing you everywhere. Was that super premeditative? What was your plan with that?
It didn't start off as a plan, and it kind of became a plan as it worked. Mm-hmm. But I think the message is very simple because I've only made probably about a dozen YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. And I've done a couple live streams and a couple podcasts. I think my message is consistent. I think people resonate with it, and that's why I think people like it. Yeah, there may be some flaming content, maybe some content that's controversial, but for the most part, the content that people stick with and the comments and the feedback that I get is that it's a net positive. So I think the internet, there's a lot of drama. I think it's very easy to get quick likes and quick views. And I think now there's a pendulum switch and a pendulum kind of swing towards authenticity. And I think people resonate with that. I would like to believe that a reason for my virality and for people resonating with this is because I don't really attach myself to the message that I'm speaking. I don't think it's my message. I think these are fundamental truths of the world, and I'm just sharing them in the way that I've experienced them. I'll give you kind of an example. When you called me the other day, I was excited to talk to you because I think that you have a great platform. I think you have a great platform because you are both funny and you have the ability to introduce concepts in a way that people can digest them. And I challenged you to something. I said, figure out the purpose for your content, not just make content for AdSense revenue. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Figure out how you can build something that outlasts you, build something with purpose. And this takes a long time. This takes a lifetime to build. And my entire premise in doing this, now that I've been able to make money, because I've been able to build a personal brand in the past, I just didn't. Why? Because I didn't want money to be the motivating factor that moved me towards talking. If I need to have AdSense on and say and filter certain things in order for me to make money, then I'm no longer working for myself, I'm working for YouTube. And I wanted to get to the place where I could be financially independent. And if I was to build my personal brand, it could be somebody that I was proud of presenting. And I'm proud of the version that I am today, therefore I'm public.
But you're still making a ton of money on the personal brand.
Yeah, a ton of money.
So I mean, like, the AdSense being off is one thing, but
you could talk about but the personal brand isn't what is making money. What is making money is that I've built a product and a company that serves people well, and people like it, and people share it, and people enjoy it. If not, people wouldn't buy it. And if you look at my process of commercialization, you look at my landing pages, I don't promise anything. I just have a club. I have a community of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs that want to create, multiply, and preserve wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is abundance in every aspect of life. It's not just money. So if people resonate with that message, join me on this journey. If not, on your way, brother. We're continuing on this journey to a million glitches all around the world, with or without you.
What's glitches?
Glitches in the matrix, bro. There's two concepts. You see bots. You've heard this concept of NPCs. NPCs are people that operate off of default scripts. Your brother. Yes, because your brother was operating off of a default script. It's okay, brother. It's not a big deal. Your brother was operating off of a default script.
It
was. I made that very clear. Was operating off of that. And this is the thing. When somebody identifies the NPC-ness in us, we need to have the humility to be okay, to be like, oh, yo, okay, this person is trying to check me out of automation. So what I'm conveying here is your brother was acting out of preconceived, autopilot decision-making. He instilled that through you. His NPC-ness, right, was being diverted to you. He turned you into an NPC. He NPC'd you. Collateral damage. I'm trying to do the opposite. The glitch is the opposite than the person that runs off of the default scripts. The person that is a glitch runs off of their own scripts. They don't fit in. They are an anomaly. I think you're a glitch. I think you're a glitch in the making. I think you still have a lot of preconceived notions about reality.
Like what?
I would say part of your identity hides behind comedy. Which is good. And I've seen this because I have a lot of friends that are comedians and that are really good with jokes. But that doesn't allow for people to see you the way that I was able to see a part of you that I think is really special. And I think that that's what you're trying to do with this podcast. And I think if you can bring that part out, extract the YouTuber, and just people be able to sit with the wisdom that you've been able to accrue. Bro, you've been able to build a business.
I mean, I'm still setting up the lights, but...
Brother, how old are you?
22.
You should be very proud of yourself. You have things to teach. How you teach them, how you convey, how you inspire. That is your duty.
But I think I want to teach through comedy.
Yes,
that attracts people.
Yes,
so
that's
why would
good.
I change?
You don't want to change that.
Okay.
But once you attract people, good. How are you going to impact people? How do people get to know you beyond being a Kevin Hart or a funny YouTuber that makes viral videos? How do you fundamentally, to the core, radically change somebody's life based off of not business, but based off of your belief in your worldview? And how do you allow the things of the world to blur your purpose on why you're actually here?
What was the question of that?
I don't know. We're just having a nonchalant conversation.
Oh,
but you know what I mean, bro? It's like...
No, I agree with you. I do. And that's why we're starting the podcast. Yeah. I think you can have a much bigger
support
impact.
you guys. I support you guys fully.
I mean, I appreciate that. Because you're here. You've never even watched an episode, but you're taking a risk on us. You're buying in early. So we do all really appreciate that.
And I want people to be able to get to know you guys, be able to know your ups, be able to hear your doubts, be able to hear your convictions. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for?
Yes, what do you stand for? What is the underlying principle of truth that governs your life?
Jesus Christ.
Then how do you embody that, and how do you show that to your 1+ million people? And do they know that?
I'd say some of them know that, but not everyone.
Perfect. So if that's your belief system and that's what you're pushing, then I would assume, I don't want to say that this is what you need to do, I would assume that your purpose in life is everything that you do guides toward that beacon. So that's what I'm conveying, is don't lose that foresight.
What's your beacon?
Finding truth. I'm still looking for it.
Have you gotten close?
The thing is, truth is very elusive.
What do you mean by that?
It always keeps you on your toes, because the moment you think you know the truth, the more you realize that you don't know a whole lot. And I think Solomon is probably the great example of a man who didn't ask for belief systems. He didn't ask for dogma or religion. When God came to him in a dream, he asked God for one thing. He asked God for wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge put into practice. Knowledge is to know. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But unless you act upon that truth, faith without works, faith is dead. Faith is the physical manifestation of what you believe. So unless I see the fruits of your belief, how do I know that you believe what you believe besides your words? So if you say, Luke, what do you believe? Just look at what I do. That's it.
Do you classify yourself as a religious person, as a Christian? Because you just brought up Solomon.
I mean, I think Solomon was a person that was pursuing truth. And I think he's also a person that obtained the highest echelons of power, the highest echelons of wealth, the highest echelons of womanization that the world has ever seen. You want 1,000 concubines? This man got them. But in the book of Lamentations, he says, all is vanity. So if the wisest man in the world says all is vanity, and I read that as somebody that wants to be wise, now what do I understand? That all is vanity. Why? Not because he said it, but because I begin to evaluate the things that he in the world tells you that fill you up. Paradise, kingdom, money. And then you get those things and, okay, now what? You've made $1 million. How do you feel the next day? Nothing. Okay,
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Does it solve your intrinsic problems in life? Does it solve the relationship that you have with your parents? Does it solve the relationship that you have with yourself? Does it solve your insecurities? Maybe, potentially.